Day, happy day. This your brother True Drew tapping in with you as the host of the Voice of Zion. I hope everybody's doing well today. Look, if you haven't been keeping up with the news, I suggest you do so. You know, as always, we don't want to do no fear mongering, and we don't want to make uh, us respond so emotionally that we don't do nothing and we grow into stagnation, right? But at the same time, it's important to know what the enemy is talking about. It's important to see what kind of plans and logistics they have in store for the rest of the world. And there is indeed another pandemic on the way. But this time, what they're going to do is they're going to roll out the mark of the beast and the digital dollar. Okay. There definitely is another pandemic on the way. But this one, like the last one, most of the world thought it was indeed a pandemic, but it was actually a plandemic. It was something that was planned. It was something that was orchestrated by the so-called elite. It was something that was instituted across the world to prepare and destabilize the thinking, the rational thinking of humans all over the world, and really pushing a hard line to see who would fall for the okey doke, who would move forward in listening to these people who were seeking to control the masses through their pandemic. Okay, the so-called elite were successful. You know, to say it bluntly, they were successful, and the success came from people who allowed them to control them, the people who felt like they had something to lose from the jobs, from work, from entertainment, from going out, from keeping the normalcy that we had grown accustomed to in the world, right? And so those are the people who made it very easy for those in control to institute the pandemic and to actually push that hard line without too much pushback. Those of us who didn't take the vaccine, those of us who didn't believe and fall for the narrative, are the ones who they're still trying to gather up right now. Okay, those of us who didn't do certain things that was supposedly required of us to do in the heat of the moment. Okay, and now many of us, whether we took the vaccine or not, are seeing, oh wow, you mean to tell me that I didn't have to take that? You mean to tell me that if I took the vaccine, I was actually the cause for spreading it around more? Now I didn't take it. I didn't allow nobody in my family to take it. But I know many people are thinking this who did take it. And now, according to prophecy, we're going to be seeing some more take place. We're going to be seeing some more vaccines. We're going to be seeing some more pandemics or plandemics. But the kicker is this time, these vaccines are going to come even more loaded with technology. They're going to come more loaded with prophecy. And what do I mean by that? If you've been following the news lately, and if you've been following what the governments are doing around the world, you'll know that in Indonesia this past couple of weeks, there's been what's called the G20 summit. The little brother to that is the B20 summit. And if you caught the previous live streams that I've done, you know that in the scriptures, mountains, whenever we see the word mountain or mount, okay, mountain in the scripture is synonymous with government. Okay, this is very important for you to get. Now, what's another word for mountain? What's an adjective for mountain? Summit, right? A summit. Okay, and so when we think G20 summit or B20 summit, that is an organization that deals primarily with the governments, the lead governments of the world getting together and discussing future plans for the rest of the world's population. Okay, this is very important. And they have these G20 and B20 summits often. If I'm correct, whenever there's a G20 summit, the precursor to that G20 summit, the granddaddy of them, is the B20 summit. It's a slightly smaller summit, but nonetheless, it's part and parcel with the G20 summit. This year just so happened to be in Indonesia. And in this G20 summit, they discussed something what they're calling a digital certificate. Okay? They're discussing digital certificates, digital dollars, and they're discussing this new vaccine called the one shot. okay, called the One Shot. Now, I'm going to read a couple articles for you, and then I'm going to discuss these articles from a scriptural standpoint so that you can understand exactly what's going on and how to avoid, to the best of your ability, the coming, I want to use the word onslaught. Let's see, the coming confusion and the coming problems that we will be facing on the earth. How about that? I think an onslaught will be a byproduct of that. So, look, the G20 website, G20 website released an article that I thought was very peculiar in that, normally when articles are released, they leave the comment section open. These news media websites, the only time that they close the comments down is when they don't want awakened people who see the truth to leave comments that can steer the population away from their propaganda. Okay? And so when I got led to this website, the G20.org website, and I read this article that I'm going to read to you, of course my antennas went up. I had saw clips of their discussion, and I knew that if I searched for these statements that they made online, that I would surely find them. Did I know that the G20 summit would have them directly on their website? I could have figured that, but it was a blessing to be led straight to that so I could see their words exactly. So I'm going to read you their words. Now, the title of this article is G20 promotes vaccine passports. Oh, yeah, that's the other key word. So you have digital certificates, the one shot, and they're packaging all of this up as vaccine passports. Yes, you heard that correctly. So remember when I talked about how there's going to be some new technology infused in this vaccine? The first level of vaccines, these inoculations, they included some very nefarious genetic blood breaking down aspects to them to make people even weaker and more susceptible to the viruses that were going around, as well as spreading the viruses once the vaccine was taken. Okay? Unknowingly, these people were spreading it more, and that's how the virus spread so prolifically. Okay, that vaccine also made it to where any future viruses that go around the world, people will be susceptible to them, and immunities will be broken down so much that people's bodies will be weak and won't be able to produce the proper immunities naturally to fight off any threat to the body, cellular structure. Okay? That's the next thing. But this next round of vaccines, called the one shot, this next round of vaccines is going to be the granddaddy of them all. Okay? And if you ask me, according to what we're reading here, this one shot is going to, I think, be part and parcel with the Neuralink. Okay? Google has a tattoo, Amazon has a technology, which is mark based. But this one right here, the the literature surrounding it, push push itself is very troubling to me because it's the reach and the governments working together versus one guy's company like Elon Musk who's pushing a Neuralink. Okay? Elon Musk is by himself essentially. Right? So the governments of the world don't necessarily have to adopt his Neuralink. However, when it comes to the G20 summit and the granddaddy governments of the world, they know that they have the power and control to steer the world's majority population into taking this new vaccine. People were steered such a way from 2020 to 2021, as far as freedoms being taken, that many people will readily take this new vaccine in order to keep their freedoms, to be able to go from point A to B without being stopped. Okay? And this is how they're packaging it. So let me get to the article. The articles. G20 promotes vaccine passports for future pandemic response. Future pandemic response? They know another pandemic is coming. Oh, because they're the ones who are going to release the viruses that will make a pandemic take place. Now, check this out. pandemic is all a proxy to get people to take the vaccine. Right? Let me just put that out as a disclaimer. Vaccine passports have already laid the foundation for a different threat to humanity. You want to know what that threat is, y'all? Perspective. That's what they say. Perspective. So let me just read it. This is going to make you be like, what? Let me just read it. Just know your bruh True Jew ain't believing the lie. Okay? I'm going to read it. I'm not believing the lie, though. G20 promotes vaccine passports for future pandemic response. Vaccine passports have already laid the foundation for a different threat to humanity. The G20 promotes vaccine passports for future pandemic response following recommendations from the B20 summit. On the heels of the Business 20 or B20 summit in Bali, where Indonesian Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin called for a digital health certificate using World Health Organization standards. The group of 20, G20, which is the government, 20 governments, called for international collaboration to capitalize on the success of digital COVID-19 certificates for future pandemic response. I quote, we support efforts to strengthen prevention and response to future pandemics that should capitalize and build on the success of the existing standards and digital COVID-19 certificates. G20 Bali Leaders Declaration 2022. Now, when I read that, that's not all of the article, but that sounds like there's already a digital COVID-19 certificate floating around someplace. Could that be the original vaccination that was pushed out that many people have taken? And unknowingly, there's a digital certificate inside of that vaccine that people do not know about, because that's what the language sounds like when they say future pandemics that should capitalize and build on the success of the existing standards and digital COVID-19 certificates. So they just let the cat out the bag. There are already COVID-19 certificates floating out there, and it doesn't come in the form of no paper. It's not in the form of no document. It's in the form of a digital document. Okay. Next quote. We acknowledge the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods under the framework of the IHR, which was released in 2005, to facilitate seamless international travel, interoperability, and recognizing digital solutions and non-digital solutions, including proof of vaccination, reads paragraph 23 of the G20 Bali Leaders Declaration. Are y'all hearing me? The reason they want to introduce this digital certificate through the vaccination and mask it as a necessity in regards to any pandemic past or future is because they want to be able to control buying, selling, traveling, and moving around freely. Wow, Brother Carlton Way. They want to facilitate a form of control that is going to be administered through the inoculation of the vaccination. That was a mouthful. Further quote, we support continued international dialogue and collaboration on the establishment of trusted global digital health networks as part of the efforts to strengthen prevention and response to future pandemics that should capitalize and build on the success of the existing standards and digital COVID-19 certificates. So they felt the need to quote that statement twice. Now remember, this is an article where people like you and I are not going to be able to comment and say, "Oh, that's not good. We shouldn't be taking this. This is blasphemous," right? Blocked off the comments. The next quote, we acknowledge the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods. Oh, then they back up to facilitate seamless international travel, interoperability, and recognizing digital solutions and non-digital solutions, including proof of vaccine. Why are they saying this over and over in the same article? ain't it? Then they quote, endeavor to move towards interoperability of systems, including mechanisms that validate proof of vaccination. G20 Bali Update 2022. In separate but similar document, the G20 issued an update that adds, again, y'all, this is the same quote, endeavor to move towards interoperability of systems, including mechanisms that validate proof of vaccination, whilst respecting the sovereignty of national health policies and relevant national regulations such as personal data protection and data sharing. Are y'all seeing how this connects with the Neuralink? So what they are saying in so many words is they want this new vaccine, which contains digital certificates, to not only allow people interoperability to travel from point A to B seamlessly without the need of feeling that their vaccination or lack of vaccination won't allow them to be free, go to work, entertainment venues, and this and that. But they also want this vaccination to be a digital certificate which allows the sharing of data. Now, who's getting the data? Who's sharing what? The end user, the person who takes the vaccine, is going to be sharing data that's in conjunction with their health and with whatever vaccine they took or did not take. Because if an individual doesn't have the vaccine, obviously they're not going to be able to share the data with all of the different sensor devices that are being set up all over the world right now. What are those sensor devices, you ask? Remember back in 2020, we began to see those G5 towers being put up all over the place? Remember we were seeing all those towers put up? Remember that? Remember all those cell towers that were being put up? And they were being promoted as towers that could enable us to have more access to quicker internet speeds and all of that kind of stuff. Those towers have been positioned all over the world because they are going to help the transmission of data as the devices, the sensor devices that they have also created, read people's blood. Simple as that. Okay? The G20 support, the article goes on to read, the G20 supports the digital health certificates that include, listen, y'all, proof of vaccination. Now remember, these are digital health certificates that will be shot inside people's bodies. Okay? Once the digital health certificate is in a person's body, it cannot be removed, as far as I know, unless someone goes through some serious electric shock or something like that. Okay? Or take some type of supplement that will clean the blood. Okay? That will clean the blood and destroy that technology as it floats in the genome of the individual who took it. Okay? Now, this isn't fear mongering, y'all. I'm reading this directly from the website. Okay? Check this out, though. The G20 support for digital health certificates that include proof of vaccination, aka vaccine passports, follows recommendations coming out of the B20 summit earlier this week. Adopt the digital documentation of COVID-19 certificates. B20 policy recommendation 2022, according to the 132-page B20 Indonesia 2022 final communique policy recommendations to the G20. Member countries should, quote, promote further exchanges and strategic use and sharing of science, technology, and appropriate data for crisis detection, creating global coordination framework for future crisis mitigation. Are y'all hearing this? I couldn't make them words up by myself and put them in a string of sentences like that if I even wanted to, because that is total wickedness. It is total evil. Why is the B20, which is the Business 20, the largest businesses, corporations in the world, why are they getting together and steering the narrative and the thought process for how governments should then respond? Shouldn't it be the other way around if it was going to be anything? Shouldn't the governments of the world be the ones telling businesses what to do? That's not what's happening. Businesses are the ones who are using their finance, their capital, to create the technology that they want the governments to adapt or adopt because the governments have the global access or the worldwide access to their citizens. Okay? I want y'all to see how this is working hand in hand. Okay? These policies or those policy recommendations include, but are not limited to, I need y'all to hear this. Adopting the digital documentation of COVID 19 certificates, that's the first on the list. So instead of just a regular vaccine, they need the world's population to adopt the digital documentation of COVID 19 certificates, which will be included in the next wave of vaccines. Okay? Two, creating robust guidelines and health emergency preparedness to ensure, strong word, ensure, global coordinated response to future crises enhanced by a technology enabled, always on global health infrastructure. I'll read that again. The second point that they're seeking to establish: creating robust guidelines on health emergency preparedness to ensure global coordinated response for future crises enhanced by a technology enabled, always on global health infrastructure. In other words, they want a system that is so strong for them that everybody on the planet will be inoculated so that they can keep tabs in a site, digital site, on everybody on the earth after they roll out the next series of this pandemic. Y'all thought it was done? The pandemic isn't done. This little season that we're going through where the NBA is playing again, football is back, baseball is back, all of the distractions from Kanye, all of the distractions from Kim Kardashian, Pete Davis, all the distractions from Drew Barrymore, all the distractions from the Russia Ukraine goings on, all of the distractions from North Korea, Taiwan, South Korea, United States, all of the distractions from Afghanistan and the so called oil crisis that's brewing up, all of the distractions from the stock market, all of the distractions from entertainment, all being rolled out right now to get us used to the world as we knew it. Entertainment, something to talk about, you know, something to keep your focus on from what you really need to be focused on. Okay? All right, they're playing with the feed, y'all. Playing with the feed. Take my time with this. I want y'all to hear this, and I need y'all to hear this. Please excuse if the feed should get choppy. Please excuse if you're not able to hear me. Okay? You know your brother True Jew don't have no problem repeating itself. Okay? I need y'all to hear this though. Listen to this next part of the article. And I need y'all to hear this. The B20 is the official G20 dialogue forum with the global business community and, quote, tasked with formulating policy recommendations on designated issues. Why is the Business 20 tasked with formulating policy recommendations on designated issues, and those designated issues are being anchored and supported by the governments of the world? And the peoples of the world have no injection into these so-called policies. This is why 2020 and 2021 was so vital and important for their plan, and why prophecy is definitely attached to this. Why? Because the world needed to be numbed. The people of the world needed to be numbed. And those of us who saw what was going on, the watchmen, the watchwomen of the world, we were the ones who were called crazy. We were the ones who were shadow banned. We were the ones whose freedoms of speech was targeted and identified as being something that could be a threat to their plan. Okay? But if you went through 2020 and 2021 and you came out the other side and you were an individual who allowed themselves to be vaccinated. I hope that your eyes are open now. Those of us who were not vaccinated saw this coming. I've seen this day coming since I was a little boy. And I knew by the grace of the Most High, when they began talking about max vaccinations, when they began talking about these different RFID chips and these technologies that would allow record keeping and data keeping from a digital perspective, and reading the sensors in that were shot into people's bodies, the Neuralinks and all of these different Amazon tattoos and Google tattoos carrying mass amounts of data. I knew that prophecy would be unfolding. Did I think I would be this young when this stuff would happen? No, when I was a little boy, one of the things that scared me the most about the so-called end of the world was that I had dreams. Okay? I had dreams. I wanted to be the next Michael Jackson. I wanted to be the next Jay-Z. Dude, I wanted to be the next Boys to Men. I wanted to be the next Miles Davis. I wanted to be the next Cab Calloway. I had dreams. And I said, wow, if this happens when I'm young, I won't be able to live my dreams. Can't this happen when I'm 65, 70, 75, 80? We know 65 is still young today. Can't this happen when I'm an old man? After I've lived my life, after I've done everything that I want to do, and I've fulfilled my dreams? Oh no, this can't happen while I'm young. That was my thought process. The erroneous thought that I had as a young person was that this system and this world was for me, and that I can live the American dream. Okay? That was the error that I made. It wasn't until I began to mature and realize that in order for me to live the most righteous and upright life and to live the life that I know has been destined for me, yeah, yeah, that's my point, Brother Carlton Way. The end is happening closer than we think of this system, of this world as we know it. And it's a blessing that it's happening this way because many of us are moving into our prime. And the more I thought about it, as I read the narrative of our people leaving Kemet during that first Exodus, there were many elders with us. There were many people who were physically unable to do certain things. They relied on the youth, they relied on the strength of the youth. And what better time for anything to be shaken up than at a time when you have your youth and you have your full strength? When you realize that this system is on its way out, and this system is ran by the wicked one, anyone who wants to do the will of the Most High and be in service to the Most High would want to stand strong for the Most High. And standing strong for the Most High means that you will be an enemy of the state. And if you're an enemy of the state, ain't no overseer, ain't no executive, ain't no business owner of no big corporation, none of the record labels, none of the entertainment venues will want anything to do with you. Their job is to find people who want to work for Satan. So once you realize that as a man or woman of the Most High, in all actuality, this place ain't for you no way. You are an alien to this place. Okay? You're an alien. You're an outcast. You're the black sheep. Okay? And it's so good. If you find yourself to be a black sheep, give all the praise and glory to the Most High. Because you are one whose eyes are waking. You are one who will be able to lead those who are just now waking up. There's a serious responsibility at hand. And for an individual who is of the Most High, you're not supposed to, and I'm not supposed to be giving my life to this wicked system. That in itself will be a form of blasphemy. If we want to use our free will for the wicked one, which I'm guilty of before my awakening, well, then, hey, I got to pray for you, brother or sister, and I hope that you are awakened to your truth, to the truth of the Most High and the truth of your calling, okay? Because the time is at hand for us to what? Wake up out of our slumber. Okay? Ephesians chapter 5. Go read it. Okay? The time is now. It is high time that we awake out of our slumber and redeem the time. All of the time that you applied to chasing after this wicked system, now it's time to make up. It's time to work double time to get back right for the Most High and do your work. Don't be like that foolish servant who sat on the talent, on his talents and gifts, and only had one talent when the return of the master came. Be like that smart and wise servant who was given the talent and multiplied that to 10 talents. Be like the smart and wise servant who had that talent and multiplied it to the 5 talents. Be like the wise virgins who waited for the bridegroom, the 5 wise virgins and got their oil for their lamps and kept their lamps lit. Don't be like the 5 foolish virgins waiting for the bridegroom whose oil was ran out by the time the bridegroom appeared. Okay? Let's keep on going. So the B20 is the official G20 dialogue forum with the global business community and is tasked with formulating policy recommendations on designated issues. On the first day of the B20 summit, Indonesia's Minister of Health, Budi Gunadi Sadikin, said that G20 countries should adopt a, quote, digital health certificate using World Health Organization standards. And that they were looking to introduce this type of vaccine passport into the international health regulations during the next World Health Assembly in Geneva. It's picking up, y'all. It's heating up. Let's have a digital, this is a quote. Let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by who? If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. Budi Gunadi Sadikin, Indonesian Health Minister, B20 Summit 2022, was quoted as saying, you hear the nerve of these people, y'all? If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. Who is he to tell you you can or can't do? The rest of the world, the people who are falling for this okie doke, are willingly going to move in the direction that they want to move. They saw the proof of this from 2020 and 2021. And they made it difficult for people, taking away entertainment, shutting down people's access to work, shutting down people's access to movement, making it odd and strange just to go shop with the employees of these different companies hawking you and telling you, hey, sir, you need a mask. You can't come in here without a mask on, right? They made it difficult, and they drilled that in for 2 years. So it entered into the subconscious psyche of individuals all over the world. So when they roll it out again, people after this season of entertainment, people after this season of access, they're not going to want to go through that again. So there's going to be even more people, including the newest generation of high school graduates, including the newest generation of college students. They're going to be like, nah, I don't want to shut this down. People are getting jobs now again, right? Nah, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to go through that again. No. Just give me whatever you got to give me, and I'll take it so I can move around. And this is the boldness that these governments are going to be rolling this thing out with. Now, they're biting themselves in the butt when they talk in this article. I want to show you how. They're making it seem as though, at the top half of this article, that this is something that they're considering. Well, in what I'm going to read to you, it lets you know that they've already began rolling this out, y'all. Check this out. G20, this is a quote from the same Budi Gunadi Sadikin. G20 countries have agreed this digital certificate using WHO standards. Okay? And we will sub it into the next World Health Assembly in Geneva as the revision to international health regulations. So the G20 countries have already agreed to this, y'all. They're going to put it in documentation so that no one on a citizenry level can fight this and say that someone like myself can say, nah, this ain't cool. Okay? Quote, let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by who? If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around, said the Indonesian health minister. For the next pandemic, okay, listen to this. Oh my goodness, y'all, listen to this. This is the quote too. For the next pandemic, so there's going to be another pandemic. They know this. This is the same language that Bill Gates was speaking back in 2015. years later, boom, end of 2019, which was 2012 in Ethiopia. September 11th, 2019 was really 2012 in Ethiopia. And if you remember, in 2008, 9, and 10 in the United States, they were pumping all the propaganda with the movie 2012 with these end of the world scenarios trying to get us focused on the Mayan calendar, which is an indigenous calendar, which in reality was 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar. And this is why I feel 2028 is going to be a doozy, y'all. We're going to see 2024, which might be the last of the presidents of the United States as we know it. But 2028 is going to be the year 2020 in the rest of the world who doesn't deal with the Gregorian calendar. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be a doozy. Just like Brother Carlton Way said, he feels the 2030s are going to be wild. I think it's going to be 2028. Really the climactic peak of all of this madness. And I'm going to get into the scriptures in a moment. But they quoted, for the next pandemic, instead of stopping the movement of the people 100%, you can still provide some movement of the people. Indonesia has achieved, G20 country has agreed, this digital certificate using WHO's standard, and we will sub it into the next World Health Assembly in Geneva as the revision to international health regulations. Hopefully, this is a quote, hopefully for the next pandemic, we can still see some movement of the people, some movement of the goods, and movement of the economy. The deacon concluded at the B20 summit prior to becoming Indonesia's Minister of Health. Now, Sadikin, who is this dude, real quick? He worked in high-level positions at Bank Bali, Bank Mandiri, ABN AMRO Bank Indonesia, PT Bank Danamon, and IBM. So this dude's resume spans from controlling finance all the way to computer chip technology. And now he's their health minister. At any point of his resume, did y'all hear anything about having to do with health? Did y'all hear that he was a doctor? Has he even been a nurse in his life? Did y'all hear anything that have to do with medicine? You heard finance and technology. But this guy is the Indonesian health minister. Okay? I need y'all to see the play that they're pushing forward. I'm going to read one more piece of this, and then I'm going to go to the next article. A health pass, now this is a quote. This is what the digital health certificate is talking about, okay? A health pass based solely on individual vaccination status may increase the risk of disease spread. Wow. World Health Organization, August 2021. In August 2021, the World Health Organization, or WHO, published a 99-page guidebook on the implementation of digital documentation of COVID-19 certificates, AA vaccine passports, stating that a health pass based solely on individual vaccination status may increase the risk of disease spread. This is because the COVID-19 vaccines, they have vaccines in quotes, y'all, as if the vaccines weren't real. Vaccines, and they know this, you feel me? They know this. Were never proven to prevent transmission nor infection. So what in the world was the vaccination for? The vaccination was to serve as a dumbing down for society and also the breaking down of the body's immunization in order to get ready for the next series of pandemics and diseases, viruses that were going to go out. It was only used to break people down and to numb the mind into thinking that the governments had the world's population benefit or world population's best intent for them, for us. Okay? And it recently came to light in the European Parliament that Pfizer never even tested its product for stopping transmission. Are y'all hearing this? This is directly from G20summit.org website. The WHO, the World Health Organization, knew from the very start. On January 15th, 2021, the World Health Organization announced that state parties should, quote, not introduce requirements of proof of vaccination or immunity for international travel as a condition of entry. The reason? There are still critical unknowns regarding the efficacy of vaccination in reducing transmission and limited availability of vaccines. Quote, do not introduce requirements of proof of vaccination or immunity for international travel as a condition of entry, as there are still critical unknowns regarding the efficacy of vaccination in reducing transmission. World Health Organization, January 2021. So what is up with the vaccination then? Here's the next quote. These vaccine passports by nature serve as a form of digital identity. Tell me the vaccines didn't have nothing to do with health at all? The vaccines didn't have nothing to do with helping people in removing the so-called virus? Correct. That's what we've been saying since 2020. That's what we've been saying since this whole thing took place. That's what we have been doing our best to cry loud and tell folks about. How many of us read documentation from any government? How many of us actually take time to read from a G20summit.org website or a B20 website? How many of us do that? It was a huge data collection. And all of the G5 towers that are all over the world now are going to help in the transmission of that data seamlessly, just like that. That's why those towers were put up, those cell towers. That's why they were put up, amongst other things. Let me get back to the article. Vaccine passports, by their very nature, serve as a form of digital identity, according to the World Economic Forum. A digital identity encompasses everything that makes you unique in the digital realm. Oh my goodness. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? I wouldn't be surprised if people start using that metaverse, meta universe that Mark Zuckerberg put out. And in the metaverse, it's even going to be a subconscious conditioning talking about you can't go here or here in the metaverse if you don't have a digital passport, y'all. A digital certificate. Watch them. But check this out. This is their definition of a digital identity. A digital identity encompasses everything that makes you unique in the digital realm. And it is a system that can consolidate all of your most personal, intimate data, including which websites you visit, your online purchases, health records, financial accounts, and who you're friends with on social media. Do I need to say that again for the people in the back? I think I need to say it for the people in the back. Listen closely to the definition of what a digital identity is, how they seek to control it through these digital certificates. This is the data that's going to be included in the vaccine. So, you know, when you download an application to your phone, that application comes with permissions, right? And you can turn off your location, you can turn off your microphone, you can turn off data sharing and all this sort of thing, right? This form of download into the blood of the individual end user is not going to come with any permissions that you can access. The permissions are going to automatically be on. Okay? You're not going to be able to press a button on your body to turn them off and to keep the people who introduced the technology to you from accessing you at any given time. So let's read the digital identity again. Are y'all starting to hear Mark of the Beast? Are y'all starting to see Mark of the Beast? This is the beast system that we're talking about in the book of Revelation. chapter 13. Let me go to that real quick. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. I first read that when I was a little boy. I said, whoo, what's going to happen? And something told me that the deep spirit within me told me that I would see this during my lifetime. And right now, we are seeing this. Now, do y'all see why I say do your best to buy your land? Even if it's 4 acres, 5 acres, buy your unrestricted land. Because if you know you're not somebody who's going to bow the knee, if you know you're somebody who's not going to take the number of the beast, if you know that you are somebody who's not going to accept this digital certificate, if you know you're somebody who's not going to take this new vaccine, if you know you're somebody who still has to shake and move and provide for your family, especially my brothers as men, please do what you can do right now. Prepare for this day to move into self-sustainability as much as possible. Even if that means loading your cabinets up with sardines, even if that means loading your cabinet up with flour, cornmeal, and rice and beans. Please do what you can do right now, okay? Because the day will come when we do not bow the knee and we do not take the mark of the beast, that we will not be allowed to go and buy and sell like we normally have been accustomed to. Okay? You see what they're rolling out, and you see what the prophetic scriptures tell us. Okay? This is all part of the plan. This is the Most High's plan being executed through man. I need y'all to hear this. So now that you know that the mark of the beast in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 and 17 is real, and it's really coming forth in real time, let's again read the digital identity. See, they're not going to call it the mark of the beast. They're just going to say digital identity. Check this out. A digital identity encompasses everything that makes you unique in the digital realm. And it is a system that can consolidate all of your most personal, intimate data. Now, what does consolidate mean? That means bring everything together. Get your seeds because Michigan, you can't buy them anymore. Go to heavensharvest.com. Go to Heavenly Harvest or Google Heavens Harvest or Heavenly Harvest. Go to Heavenly Harvest or heavensharvest.com and purchase your heirloom seeds, your organic heirloom seeds. Heirloom seeds are the type of seeds where when you plant it, the produce that you grow will have seed in itself. And you can store some of that produce, dry out, okay, dry out the produce, the one that you don't eat, and store the seeds for later use for the next season and continue to grow and cultivate your food. Check out Heavenly Harvest or Heaven Harvest. I don't get no promo code, none of that. I don't have none of that, okay? I'm just telling you because that's who I buy my seeds from if I don't get the organic seeds from Walmart or from Home Depot or Lowe's, okay? So you can still purchase seed from those other places, and that's the online platform that I use myself. I don't have no promo codes. I'm not going to put that up. I don't get nothing for promoting that. All right. You just said it, Brother Carlton Way. I want to make sure you have a way to get seed. All right. So once again, a digital identity encompasses everything that makes you unique. Everything makes you you in the digital realm. And it is a system. You see, it's a system. We are in the beast system, and it must be destroyed. Am I wrong saying that this beast system must be destroyed? Am I wrong? I'm only wrong to those who want to see the beast system succeed. Okay? A digital identity encompasses everything that makes you unique in the digital realm, and it is a system that can consolidate all of your most personal, intimate data, including which websites you visit. So if you getting into the truth and you start visiting all these truth websites, prepping websites, and you start wanting to get outside of this, oh, it's too late. They on your helmet because now they know what you really are. They know who you searching. They know what you trying to learn about. They know you trying to break free. Oh, you targeted. Online purchases. Oh, you want to buy some seeds, huh? You don't want to go to the store no more? You're not trying to shop in the mall no more? You trying to be self-sustainable? Oh, gotcha. Targeted. Your online purchases. Oh, you starting to buy survival gear? You starting to buy solar panels? You starting to visit Amazon to get books on truth so that you can steer and guide your family the right way? Ah, gotcha. Targeted. We on your helmet. Health records. Financial accounts. Oh, you trying to do all this and you want to buy all this stuff to support your family and be self-sustainable? We shutting your finances down. Now we see your record. We see the patterns of your purchases. Patterns of your purchases. Woo! Thank you, Most High Mama and Papa. The patterns of your purchases. Shutting you down. I hope y'all seeing this. Financial accounts and who you're friends with on social media. Oh, you want to be friends with Brother True Jew? Brother that we trying to tell y'all is crazy? Brother we keep shadow banning and others like him? Or you want to be friends with him? Ah, gotcha. Targeted. This is the quote. The G20 should support the design of policies aimed at promoting digital identities as a building block for data privacy and digital trust. Data privacy and digital trust. Yeah, data privacy and how they really want to use your data outside of what they just told you they was going to use it for. And digital trust, not between them and us, but digital trust between all the corporations and third-party organizations who they're selling your data to continue the inoculation of subconscious implementation of this madness. Ooh, another tongue mouthful. Let me go to the next article. Y'all can find that article on the G20.org website, all right? This next article is called B20 Promotes Innovative Disease Prevention Through the Global One Shot Campaign. That's the title, y'all. November 13th, 2022. B20 promotes innovative disease prevention through the Global One Shot Campaign. So they're going to call this for all the youth, they're going to call this the one shot. Ooh, that's catchy, ain't it? Catchy. The one shot. That reminds me of a line Biggie Smalls rap. This is why I really like Biggie Smalls. It took me years and years and years and years to figure out this riddle because I'm not from New York. Okay, I'm not from New York, so it took me a minute from being a Bay Area West Coast brother to figure this out because in the Bay we use certain weapons that is not used in New York and vice versa. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Biggie Smalls said, "Don't see my ones, don't see my guns. Get it? Now take your friends, Papa hit it and split it in two." Remember that line, Biggie Smalls rap? I didn't get that at first. It took me until I was like 20, 21 years old to get that line. And I figured it out one day when I was with my cousin and we was playing Halo online, back when I was playing video games a little bit. And we was playing Halo and we had it on sniper mode, one shot mode. Okay? And that's when it hit me. Don't see my ones, don't see my guns. That's talking about a sniper. Okay? One shot. Don't see my guns, don't see my ones, don't see my guns. Get it? Now tell your friends Papa hit it and split it in two. What got hit and split in two? A person's dome from being sniped on. And this is what they plan to roll out in the form of this new shot called the one shot. Hit it and quit it. A one hitter quitter. Okay? A one hitter quitter. All right? Check this out. B20 has launched the Global One Shot campaign as part of its B20 legacy programs for the G20 Leaders Summit on the 15th and 16th of November. See how new this was? This was this past week. This just happened. As the G20's official platform representing the interests of the global business community, the B20 support for the One Shot campaign at the summit in Bali on the 13th and 14th of November is part of a wider package of B20 recommendations aimed at, quote, advancing innovative, inclusive, and collaborative growth to achieve the Indonesian G20 presidency's goal to, quote, recover together, recover stronger. Y'all see the cap. The One Shot campaign aims to make preventable disease history by increasing vaccine access and equity, particularly within low and middle income countries. This is enough to just make me SWV weak in the knees. And y'all hear this? They're not targeting the so called elite, they are targeting low and income communities, low and middle income communities and countries depend on making a way for themselves. People who don't have access to land, people who are dependent every day on the system to go how the system is supposed to go. This will be driven by new public private partnerships to develop, manufacture, and distribute the next generation of vaccines and injectable therapeutics. Y'all hear this? I'm not able to make this stuff up, y'all. I have a really great imagination, but I don't have an imagination for wickedness and evil, y'all. I'm gonna read that last sentence again. This will be driven by new public and private partnerships to develop, manufacture, and distribute the next generation of vaccines and injectable therapeutics. Now, here's the propaganda for those of us who get led to this article. We're like, hey, I guess I got to go with the flow. This is the part where they try to scare us into taking this crap. At least 10 million deaths a year are attributable to diseases with existing or forthcoming adult vaccines and preventable injectable therapies. The huge human and economic cost of preventative disease clearly demonstrate the importance of preventative medicine and the potential for life. Course vaccination to help address global health inequities. See how they said that? You notice profit was nowhere in that sentence, right? They're talking about cost, but cost and profit go hand in hand. This is why these are being rolled out through the Business 20 Summit, because the main businesses on the earth are the ones who are going to profit substantially from the global population's inoculations of these dang vaccines and vaccinations, okay? The One Shot campaign seeks to address this challenge. The One Shot campaign seeks to address this challenge by bringing together governments, industry, and health organizations, particularly from low middle class income countries, to develop an agreed approach to improve the equity of access to existing and emerging vaccines and injectables. This will include leveraging on the potential of next generation vaccines and prophylactic injectables to save lives, support economic recovery, and bolster future pandemic preparedness. The campaign will also explore opportunities to expand and diversify vaccine manufacturing and the delivery of clinical trials for novel vaccines within the global south, such as tuberculosis, HIV, HPV, dengue, malaria, and heart disease. I never heard so many lies in one article. I don't think I've ever read this many lies while they're putting out what they want to do to the global community at one time. If I just put this article out there for y'all to read, I feel like there has to be some sort of explanation to go along with these words. Because the person who is blind who reads this is definitely going to be put into a fear corner and believe this madness and do everything that they're saying. And also put their children through this madness as well. I pray for those married couples who the husband wants to follow along with this rhetoric and the wife is like, no, babe, don't do it. I pray for the married couples who husband is like, no, babe, we're not doing this. And she's like, no, I'm vaccinating our children. I'm vaccinating us. And that's all it is to it. If you don't like it, kick the rocks, buddy. I'm praying for all these people who are going through this, y'all. Please keep these folks in your prayer. Listen to this. The Global One Shot campaign is supported by leading international and Indonesian stakeholders, including the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, EPI, GSK, Aspen Pharmacare, Oxford Nanopore Technologies. What in the world does Nanopore? Listen to the name, Nanopore. Nano are small little technological robots that can float inside the stream of blood, and they connected pores to it. Aren't your pores the little vents of the body? Aren't pores vents of the body? So they want to inject nanobots through the pores of your body. Nanopore. Oxford Nanopore Technologies, Biopharma, Kalbi Pharma, and Siloam Hospitals Group, Indonesia. The One Shot campaign is spearheaded by the Global Health Security Consortium, GHSC, which has partnered with B20 Indonesia to support the development of an impactful and innovative health legacy. GHSC is comprised of the Tony Blair Institute, the Ellison Institute of Transformative Medicine, and scientists at the University of Oxford. Mr. Tony Blair, former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and co-founder of GHSC. Oh, he's the co-founder of the GHSC, Global Health Security Consortium. What? Join the B20 IAC. The B20 GHSC partnership was executed with the support of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Wow. Bakri Center Foundation as Indonesia's strategic partner and Equatori's advisory. Mr. Tony Blair, executive chairman of the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, stated, One Shot aims to bring, this is a quote, One Shot aims to bring the next generation of life-saving vaccines and treatments to everyone, everywhere, but that can only happen if we put in place the global health structure to achieve it. The loss of 10 million lives every year from preventable diseases is a cost to humanity that is just unacceptable when we have within our grasp the means to prevent it. End quote. Gas, lies. Another quote. We have got one shot to get this right. See how they doing wordplay? We have got one shot to get this right. Bringing together governments, industry, and global health organizations to deliver our one-shot vision will save millions of lives, billions of dollars, and help address vast health inequalities, creating more prosperous, healthier, and more resilient societies, said Tony Blair, or said Tony Shinta Kamdamni, chair of B20 Indonesia. He also stated B20 Indonesia is proud to launch the Global One Shot campaign in collaboration with the Global Health Security Consortium. I would like to thank Sir Tony Blair for his invaluable leadership on global health issues through the International Advocacy Caucus and through GHSC's partnership with B20 Indonesia in shaping this legacy program. This just makes me sick. And I don't mean health wise, I just mean like this just makes me perturbed, I should say. Let me not speak that onto my life. It's perturbing. Bringing together global industry and health organizations in support of one-shot missions is an important first step to building a transformative partnership to improve health outcomes throughout LMICs. Remember, that's lower middle income countries. Over the years ahead, I hope that B20 will continue to champion one-shot missions and the continued dialogue between all key stakeholders, government, industry, and global health organizations, stated Shinta. Shinta also said that public-private partnerships are important drivers of the innovation and investment necessary to close the gap in health access and improve our preparedness to face the next pandemic. I'm going to stop there. far as reading these articles, I will put the links to the articles in the description of this live stream once it's made available. Thank you. All right, you can go ahead on, son. So this is very wild. It was prophesied. All right, baby boy. It was prophesied to take place. It was prophesied to happen. It was prophesied to happen, just like this. I want to read something to you out of the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, beginning at verse 15. And we're going to go through 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 15 through 19. Remember, in the book of 2nd Ezra, we're dealing with one of the holy prophets of Israel who was given a vision of the future. Hey, Queen Sister TC Gemini, I hope all is well. I hope your health is well, and I hope you're getting through your day beautifully. Thank you for joining us today. You can, what I want all y'all to do, if you're just now joining the live stream, save this live stream, because it might not be in your history done, because YouTube has been making it to where it's like a day before it's published. Okay, it takes like a day or like 16 hours or so for my live streams to be published. So what I want you to do is share the live stream to yourself. Okay, if you hit the share button and you email it to yourself, you can do that, or you can share it by texting it to somebody who you might feel needs to see this live stream, and then you'll be able to access the link yourself. Okay, so that's how I recommend doing it. I already shared the live stream to myself and emailed it to me before I hit the go live button. Okay, thank you. And that way you can access this live stream before it is actually published. Okay, and so that's what I suggest you to do. But Second Esdras is an account, a narrative that was showed to Esdras about a future time. Okay, the Book of Esdras tells us that this age that we're living in has been broken into 12 parts. During the days of Esdras, he was in the 10th and a half part of the age. That was 1,000 or so years ago. Okay, about maybe 1,500 years ago or so. 15 to 1,800 years ago, give or take, right? So, I even been in 2000. I got to check my timeline. Now that I think about it. But that's besides the point. The point is, it was a long time ago that Esdras was showed an account of the future that really disturbed and perturbed him. Okay? And he was shown a time that we are living in now. We're living in the end of the age. We're living in the 12th part right now. Esdras was in the 10th and a half part way back then. Okay? So we know, based off of how biblical and scriptural prophecy has been rolled out over the years, that we're definitely in the 12th part right now. Now, remember, I don't like to do no fear mongering. That ain't what I'm on. I speak these things because it's my job. It's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? Now, I'm not supposed to be a hypocrite up here telling y'all to do something I'm not doing myself. Okay? I'm not going to be on that time. That's not what I'm on. Everything I'm telling you out of love. And I'm hoping that you get what I'm picking, you pick up what I'm putting down. Okay? That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that my speech is clear for you and that you are able to understand, and overstand the articulation coming out of me. Okay? It's very important. Listen to what Esdras was revealed to Esdras in chapter 15 of 2nd Esdras. You can get the Apocrypha online. No excuses. Don't sit up here and say you don't have access to the Apocrypha. Do not do that. You have a smartphone. You are watching me from your smartphone. Use it for something smart. That's no knock, no offense, but I'm saying use it for something smart that's going to benefit you. Okay? Please, I have to say it like that. Use it for something smart. Please, please. Put on my Yogi and Boo Boo. I'm not your average bear, Boo Boo. Don't be the average bear, okay? Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Alas, for the world and for those who live in it, the sword and misery draw near them, and Nation shall rise up to fight against nation with swords in their hands. For there shall be unrest among people, growing strong against one another. They shall in their might have no respect for their king or the chief of their leaders. A person will desire to go into a city and shall not be able to do so. We are moving into a time where we see. I started this live stream mentioning Russia and Ukraine, mentioning the United States and Afghanistan, mentioning Iran, mentioning Taiwan, mentioning North Korea, South Korea. If y'all haven't noticed, nation is rising up against nation as I speak this. This is why all of the distractions are taking place right now, because what we really need to focus on, you see, once again, y'all, what we need to focus on is not the focus of the mass media. Why? Because if the truth was out there, then many people who were stubborn to the scriptural narrative of prophecy would then be not stubborn no more. And people would say, whoa, I thought the scriptures were a lie. And now I see all this is happening in front of me. Oh no, if the scriptures aren't a lie, that means that what is said in the scriptures, especially about the mark of the beast, is true. And if what the scriptures say about the mark of the beast is true, where no man will be able to buy and sell or travel from point A to B anymore, then that must mean that other things in the scriptures are true. And if other things in the scriptures are true, well, then I got to change the way I live. And if I got to change the way I live, that means I got to get out my comfort zone. And if I got to get out my comfort zone and I got to leave sin and iniquity alone, then that means I got to repent. And if that means I got to repent, then that means the Most High is real. And if the Most High is real, then that means Yahshua Mashiach is real. And if that means Yahshua Mashiach is real, then that means this world as we know it is going to be done with. And if the world as we know it is going to be done with, then that means Yahshua Mashiach is going to come and bust through the sky. All of the chariots and all the angels are going to be with him. And if all the chariots and all of the angels are with Yahshua Mashiach, then that means Yahshua Mashiach isn't coming for peace. That means he's coming to kill and destroy everything against the Most High. And if Yahshua Mashiach is coming to kill and destroy everything against the Most High, then that means the nations of the world who want to stand in opposition to Yahshua Mashiach are going to round up all their forces and fight him and the angels and the saints. And if that happens, that means the battle of Armageddon is real. Now do you see why distractions are so important? You see how that chain of events just went? I hope y'all are seeing. That's why people got to worry about what's happening on MTV and the BET Awards. If we knew, do you know how many people would run like crazy if they knew this? When them brothers come out of them ships, it's a wrap. 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 And people are going to see these brothers come out of UFOs. They call UFOs. And go see brothers that look like you and I coming out of UFOs, touching down with all sorts of weapons, technology we have never seen, and going dumb. Going dumb in the bay mean turning up. Okay? Listen to this, verse 17 of 2nd Esdras chapter 15. For a person will desire to go into a city and shall not be able to do so. Why? Because the people who aren't able to go from city to city are going to be the ones who did not take the digital certificate. The people who are not able to go from city to city did not take the recent wave of vaccinations. The cities are going to be shut down by the National Guard, the Army, the Marine Corps, NATO soldiers who are underground right now, underneath us right now. In the main cities, the big cities right now, y'all could go and look at my live stream in regards to deep underground military bases. Okay? And you're going to see that there's already extreme military personnel underneath the ground right now getting ready. How do you think overnight you're going to see tanks and armors rolling down your city streets? How do you think overnight there's going to be soldiers, foreign soldiers at your door, knocking at your door with languages that you do not understand, holding you to gunpoint? and your family. I hate to have to say you, but if you don't do what you need to do to get out of those situations and to prepare properly, then you're going to see the highest level of piss poor performance that you've ever seen on the face of the earth. Okay? And why? Verse 18 tells us why this is going to happen too. Because of their pride. Because of their pride, the cities shall be in confusion. What type of confusion? Why is this happening? Oh, what's going on? Because everybody who's confused refused to listen to the men of the Most High. Yes. There's foreign cars, foreign tanks, the type of vehicles with the steering wheel on the right side and not the left side, because that's what they used to driving. Okay, they need to be able to operate those vehicles as soon as the alarm goes off. Check this out. It's going to be confusion through these cities because people are now going to be waking up but still refusing the scriptures and the truth of them. Because of their pride, the city shall be in confusion. The houses shall be destroyed, and people shall be afraid. Oh, now people want to be afraid. People shall have no pity for their neighbors, but shall make an assault upon their houses with the sword or with the sword. Now you're going to start seeing purge activity. You're going to start seeing zombie apocalypse activity. Okay? Where people are no longer going to care for their neighbors. All that fake stuff, people waving at each other and all that stuff, saying, "Hey neighbor, how you doing?" That's out the window, y'all. That's out the window. That's going to be out the window very soon. Verse 19 of 2nd Ezra 15. People shall have no pity for their neighbors, but shall make an assault upon their houses with the sword and plunder their goods because of hunger for bread and because of great tribulation. Yes, y'all. People always talk about the rapture and this and that. We're going to have to go through great tribulation. Before the day of the Most High, we're going to have to go through great tribulation. The people of Israel, I'm talking about the Israelite people scattered to the four corners of the world, are going to be in great tribulation as well. What the Bible calls Jacob's trouble. Go ahead and read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. You can learn about Jacob's trouble. Jacob meaning all of the house of Israel. Jacob's trouble. Then we're going to have to deal with the great tribulation. Okay? Tribulation like the world has never seen. Partly because we have been so used to the comforts that this world has provided us through the different industries and society. When those things are ultimately stripped from us and taken from us, ah, we not like grandmama and them and grandpapa, big papa and big mama who knew how to cultivate the land, who wasn't tripping off no technology, didn't have no cell phones, didn't even have no radio. You didn't know what it was until the post came. You just knew you had to take care of your family by growing the food, the crops. The grocery store, what that had base materials, base items like flour, meal, cornmeal, might have some fatbacks or something like that for convenience sake. We weren't supposed to be eating no hog, no way. Our ancestors did because that's what we had to eat. Wasn't tripping off no comforts. Comfort was just being able to feed your family some greens and some beans and some peas. Okay? Now comfort is Wi-Fi, smartphones, laptops, being able to go wherever you want, spend however you want, vacay, boats and cruises, first class flights, getting flued out. All that's gonna come to an end. All of that is gonna come to an end. I hate to have to be the one to tell you, but I love you too much to lie to you. You got folks who want to tell you the sweet thing. You got these pastors and preachers who's not willing to lose the congregation, who's not willing to see all those tithing dollars go to actual preparation. Okay? That's what would happen if the pastors and preachers got up there and told the truth. Their tithes will diminish. Are you serious? You telling the truth, Pastor? Or people who want to get told sweet nothings, they'll leave that church and just go rock with the pastor who's lying to them. Okay? There's a small population of people on this planet who are willing and able to deal with the truth, raw and uncut. And it's an There's a smaller population on people on this planet who are able to deliver the truth raw and uncut. Real love. That's why I'm so happy the Most High got me in the position I'm in, because can't nobody threaten me with taking no finance away from me. Can't nobody threaten me and hold nothing over my head. Oh, we gonna cancel you, brother. We gonna put you on timeout, brother. You suspended for this amount of games. You gonna lose your $1 million contract if you keep talking like this. Oh, no, no, no. They ain't gonna get True Jew. No, sir, no, ma'am. They ain't gonna be able to shut me up. You see that? That comment that just popped up. Pastors rarely talk about the book of Revelation. I guess they're scared. Brother, these pastors don't talk about nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with no prosperity. These pastors ain't even talking about the book of Deuteronomy. These pastors won't even go on to the Torah. These pastors get up there and tell you the law is done away with, but then want to collect some tithes like they Levitical priests. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And then they lie about the tithes. Tithes is supposed to be 10% increase of all that you cultivate, all that you rear up in livestock and cattle. These brothers ain't no Levitical priests. I'll tell you who these brothers are. I'll tell you who these brothers are. Give me one moment and let me get it. The book of Jeremiah. I'll tell you who these brothers are. I'm gonna tell you who they are. Let the scriptures tell you who they are. You ain't even got it. You know what? You don't gotta take my word for it. Let the scriptures tell you. Let the scriptures tell you what you need to know. You don't got to take my word for it. I'm about to show you where to go. Yes, yeah. I'm about to show you where to go. Go to Jeremiah chapter 23, and we're going to talk about some pastors and some preachers real quick that ain't telling you the truth. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1 says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Most High. This ain't me saying it. Let the Most High say it. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Most High. Therefore, thus saith the Most High God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. You have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Most High. What does visited mean? Visited means telling the truth. Visited means coming unto the sick, the feeble, not just in physical form, but in spiritual form. The deaf, dumb, and blind. Attending to the people of the Most High in truth and in spirit and in truth. All these pastors, they got something coming in for them. Yes, they do. That's why they consider themselves among the elite. That's why a lot of these pastors, they claim to be wanting this and that for this and that, but really they going underground too. And the rocks will fall on them as well. Same way the rocks gonna fall on Elon Musk and Bill Gates. Check this out. You have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Most High. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries where I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And the Most High tells us once that happens, and I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed. Neither shall they be lacking, saith the Most High. Lacking what? Lacking the truth. Excuse me, y'all, while I take a sip of Abazooty water. Let me wet my whistle. I hope y'all seeing what's going on. I hope y'all seeing what's going on. And every time one of us take a chance on speaking this truth, you know, I know what's going on in the world. I know the distractions. I know how I appear to people for the most part. Those of us who don't want to hear this but just stumble across this video, I know I sound like a crazy Negro. I know sound crazy. I also know that what I'm saying is the truth. And when an individual has been dealing with this narrative their whole life, and then power do I have in my hands to manifest something of this magnitude? Like, really? I'm not doubting my power. I'm not doubting the Holy Spirit within me. I'm not doubting that. What I'm saying, though, is I'm not in an elite position as far as this world is concerned to do anything. Thank you, brother. I know I don't sound crazy to you because you've been dealing with this too. But you get out there talking the same way I'm talking, we sound crazy to those who don't want to hear this. It's okay. It's all right. I'll be that. But just know that crazy come with a lot of love. What's that Beyonce song, Crazy in Love? Crazy in Love, but she talking about romanticism. She talking about the false love. You know what kind of crazy in love I am? Let's go to the scriptures. Because a lot of us don't even know what love is. We think love got to do with some lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, Chris Brown stuff, romanticism. We not even Romans. Get that out your head. Get it out your head. Now, if you stumble upon this channel and you are Roman, and you are European, and you want to cleave unto the truth, well, then you better leave that romanticism alone right now, and you better get to the truth of the matter. This is true love. The truth always sound and look crazy to those who can't see the truth. That's right. Now, this is real love. By this we know that we love the children of God. John chapter 5, verse 2. Now, notice you ain't going to hear nothing about no romanticism. You're not going to hear nothing about no Cupid arrows. You're not going to hear nothing about no Valentine's Day. You're not going to hear nothing about no la 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 sitting under the moonlight. You ain't going to hear none of that. Okay? You're not going to hear none of that. I'll tell you what you're going to hear. It's going to be straight out these scriptures. Check it. 1 John chapter 5, verse 2 tells us what real love is and how we really love one another. By this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. So this is how we know we love each other. When we love God. And how do we love God? By keeping his commandments. Check this out, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Oh, the law is done away with. No, the love of God is that we keep his commandments. Oh, the law, statutes, and commands aren't valid. That's Old Testament. No, the love of God is that we keep his commandments. That got nailed up to the cross with Jesus. No, the love of God is that we keep his commandments. His commandments are not grievous. That's the Bible. That's scripture. And that's New Testament for all of y'all don't want to deal with the Old Testament Bible believers. Okay? Yeah. I'm here to ruffle feathers. But I hope that you are able to take your feathers and settle them back down how they need to be so you can fly high. All right? So listen, I hope you understood what I was saying today. Like I asked you to do, share this live stream, not for my sake, not to boost my ego. Just share it. If you came to the channel late, share it to yourself so that you can access it when you need to. Copy and paste the link, put it in your notes on your phone, and then come back to it because YouTube be playing with my live streams. I don't be getting to just publish my live streams like I think should be normal. It takes hours for the live stream to pop back up, and I don't even get access to it to change the description until it's up, until I got access to it. Who the fuck? But hey, it's cool though. Cool though. It's cool though. You know, I have a gang of studies on my website, scripture.com. Scripcha. You can go to scripture.com, download all of my hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long studies. Okay, you can download them. They downloaded in the form of a Google Drive file. So it's not no okey doke. I'm not trying to trick you or nothing. But if you want to have offline access to the video and it's on your phone or whatever, USB device you have at your accessibility, you can download the videos, the studies for free, all up there on scripture.com. And maybe soon I'll put more studies up there, but right now I'm just using YouTube. It's a benefit to me right now to reach as many people as possible without having to promote scripture.com. All right. If y'all notice, I really don't like promoting. I really don't like that. I always feel like the power and promotion comes from the people. If something that's said or something that's created moves the person so much to promote it, then that's the type of promotion I'm about. I'm not about that self-promoting. Maybe that's one of my downfalls. Hey, it is what it is. But I'm not really into self-promoting like that. I'll put something up once or twice, and if it don't catch on after that, then so be it. Let other people get it. I just know I'm doing this in service to the Most High, and that's when it comes from. The Most High will create the window of opportunity. Okay? And I pray for a window of opportunity daily, that this word goes out and reaches somebody who desperately needs it. I don't care about, I said I don't care, but I do care. But as far as being pushed out to billions of people, that's not going to boost my ego. It's for one person. As long as one person's life is positively affected by this truth, I've done my job. And if that continues to happen day in and day out, one person here, one person there, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. But I have to figure out different ways to make sure that one person gets the information, because just like the devil knows, remember what I read to you earlier from those articles? They're seeking to inject the digital certificate or that one shot vaccination in order to identify the uniqueness of each individual on earth, right? Everybody is not the same on earth. So, how I say one thing, right, I have to figure out a way to say it to someone else who might not receive it the way that the last person did. Okay? So that's the uniqueness of all of us. And that's where the window of opportunity comes from. Some person might not want to hear this live stream, but to hear one bar, one line that I spit on one song, and that can spark a revolution within their mind. One song, one bar, one line. Another person might not be into rap music or R&B music or spiritual music, but they into reading. So they read one thing that was written through me, and boom, now they got it like that. Person might just want to watch a 5 minute video. Boom, you got it like that. So it's many different ways. One person might not see nothing, might not even be online. And I'm out and about shopping or whatever it is. And I bump into this person. And I have the Bible in my mind. I might not even be carrying my scriptures with me. But I'm quoting, I'm doing all my study, and it's all inside of me. When I cross paths with somebody on the street and I see that they have a zeal to want to learn the truth, then I could stop them. They could stop me, and we could share. See how that works? So every day, it's a new objective in the mission. So it's all good. It's all good. The channel is growing daily. I thank everybody. Shout out to all the new supporters. I haven't said that in a long time. Shout out to all the new supporters. You're gonna notice I don't say subscribers. Okay, I don't deal with the subscriber thing. I deal with the support. You support me by watching the channel. You support me by sharing the channel when you want to. You support me by liking a video when you like it. You support me by just tuning in, engaging in the comment thread. You support me by leaving comments, and I support you by doing the due diligence that I need to make sure that everything that I share with you is true. There's already distractions all over the place. Why am I going to be another content creator that's adding to the distractions, keeping you from the truth, helping you bury your head in the sand? I'm cool off of that. I'm supposed to be a watchman for the Most High, and I do not want y'all blood on my hands. I refuse to have y'all blood on my hands. If y'all don't want to listen, my hands are clean. If y'all listen, so be it. But if I don't tell you the truth, you don't know the truth, and you haven't been given an opportunity to even conduct your own due diligence, then your blood is on my hands because I knew the truth and I didn't share it. Okay? I ain't about that life. It's about truth, love, light, peace, blessings, abundance, prosperity, sound knowledge, sound wisdom, guidance in this realm, and moving forward to the best of my ability in these last days of the last days. Okay? So look, it's your brother True Jew tapping in with y'all. I'm thankful to be able to end this live stream while there's still some light in front of me. So I'm gonna go ahead on and take advantage of that so y'all can see my face. And if you have any questions real quick before I sign out, go ahead on and leave them in the comment thread and I will be able to address them right now. But if not, if not, I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful evening. All right, that's it. I wish you all a beautiful evening. Continue to be blessed. Continue to seek out the face of the Most High. And I appreciate you too, Brother Ken Carlton Way. Thank you, family, for your constant support, man. You've been rocking with me since the very beginning, bro, and I appreciate you, and I rock with you too. And remember what I said about the seeds, brother. Heavenly Harvest, I think it is, heavenlyharvest.com or Heaven's Harvest. If you just put it in Google, it'll pop up and just follow the link. All right. The seed bundles, they come in a bucket. They come in like this thick white bucket, maybe a gallon or 2 gallon bucket. And all the seeds you'll need for next season will be in the bucket. And they're heirloom seeds. They germinate well. You have everything from rutabaga all the way to collard green. You have all your beans, lima. You have green beans. You have melons. You have Iroquois melons, sugar baby melons, cantaloupe. You have potatoes. You have tomatoes, um, cabbage, carrots. What else? You got your okra. You got your corn. 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 You got your beets. Everything you gonna need. Your squash. You got your squash. Everything you gonna need to be self-sustainable and thrive when society shuts down. You'll have, and a lot of those crops they're harvestable throughout the season, so you can harvest your greens, for instance, and during growth season they'll keep on sprouting back up. You harvest a few leaves of cabbage, a couple head of cabbage. Now, cabbage heads ain't gonna regenerate like that, but your greens, your leafy greens, you can harvest them, and they'll keep on growing as long as the season goes. You'll be able to pick your green beans as they grow. Your okra is gonna keep on producing throughout the whole season. So, hey y'all, it's time. It's high time to get on it. High time to get on it. It really is. Oh, your cucumbers. You want your cucumbers? It's cucumbers in that package. All right. It's gonna save you convenience from having to drive around. The money you spend on gassing up, searching from point A to B, and they don't have this seed or that seed, driving around the frustration. You don't got to deal with none of that. Just go straight to Heaven's Harvest or find your own online source. But I know they're reputable. I've dealt with them. You know what I'm saying? And I know that they seeds germinate well and they are organic and they heirloom seeds. And I've already done a harvest, I've already done my first crops for this past season. So I can tell you and confirm that they seeds produce seed. And I got another seed bank going based off the seeds I got from this past harvest. So I don't even gotta dip into some of my reserves that I initially purchased from them. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Start going to your Lowe's and your Harbor Freights. Start getting your hose, your gardening tools. Get you a good pair of lambskin gloves or your heavy duty gloves. So when you out there working, hands don't get too calloused and blistered up. Like just start focusing on the little things. Get your buck knives, get your knife sharpeners, get your grinders, get a couple packages of pocket knives like this. Get you a knife. Get you a knife like this. It comes with a seatbelt cutter on the end in case it's an accident, and it comes with a right here. See that tip? That's a windshield window breaker. A window breaker right there. You just bam. You hit the window and it'll shatter. Okay. It comes with the seatbelt cut in case you got to save somebody or you got to save yourself. The blade is serrated. Here on this edge right here, and right here is sharp. Razor sharp, and the point sharp. It's still sharp. And look at that, how they cut that blade. It's thick. It's pretty thick. Pretty thick. So get you a blade like that. Okay. It come with the holder on it. Real heavy duty. Get you something like that. Get you a few of them. Okay. Get you a buck knife. The things you're gonna need. Get you a little fishing line. Get you some weights. Get you some hooks. Get you some sewing material, some needles and thread. Get you one of them buck knives. Get a normal buck knife, solid handle, and then get you a buck knife with a compass on it and a little survival kit in it. Harbor Freight sells all of that stuff. Get you something like that. Get you some paintball guns. Paintball is for the little critters and animals that try to get to your harvest, and you gotta light them up and let them know, hey, don't be coming around here, but you don't want to kill them. Of course, you want to get your firearms. Get your firearms. Go down to Big Five and purchase you your Mossberg. Go get you a Mossberg pump. Go get you a rifle, a 3-aught. Go get you something like that. Go get you something that 5 shots, 6 shots, 10 shots in it. Get you a rifle. Okay, get you something. Get you some pistols. Get you something. All right. Get something. Get on. The firearm is needed for the two-legged critters. For the two-legged critters, huh? The critters that stand upright, huh? Yeah, brother. I know. I know. I know. I know. Hopefully you don't gotta use them. Hopefully we don't gotta use them on the two-legged critters. I know. I know. But that was a good one, bro. That was a good one. But look, I love y'all to life. Y'all take it easy tonight. Y'all stay blessed, stay abundant. May blessings follow you wherever you go. May you be a blessing to those who you meet. May those who you meet be a blessing to you. May goodness flow through you. May goodness flow to you. May your homes be covered with the divine hedge of protection always. May the angels of the Most High and the fleet of the angels of the Most High fly over your home constantly. May you see the truth for what it is. May you accept the truth for what it is and make the proper preparations to prepare for the coming days. Listen, it's your brother True Jew tapping in with you the only way I know how. Raw, real, and uncut. Most High Mama Papa willing, I'll be back with another one. But until then, thank you for your support. Gone.